Hey guys, welcome to episode 12 of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. I'm one of your hosts, Dash, along with my co-host, Holmesy.
Howdy, how we doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Very, very good. I'm just going to hijack the start of the show here for any audio listeners and send your birthday wishes to @DashGamer on Twitter if you can, please, because it was his birthday the day before this one. For when we're recording today. Probably not the same day as going live, but happy birthday, Dash, for the 19th of February.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, old man right here now in his 30s.
Big 3-0. Yeah. Sorry, as you were, continue.
Retirement age, pensioner's card on its way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's okay. Thanks, Holmesy. I really appreciate that, man.
It's all good, man.
Guys, if you didn't know, this is Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. It's our tri-weekly book club-inspired gaming podcast where Holmesy and I will dive into some of the hottest games out. We are currently playing Persona 5, and we're going to be dissecting Holmesy's first playthrough of the game. We're already about a good way into it. We're about maybe 75% into it, guys. So if you haven't catched our earlier episodes, please do jump back to episode 1 if you're playing along and take a listen. But if you like that, make sure that you follow us over on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy. Dashandholmesy.com is our home hub now, so you can go there and check it out. But also on iTunes and Spotify, where you can give us a cheeky 5-star rating. Now, Holmesy, first, actually some housekeeping first. Open Your Hearts.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts special. So we discussed this a little bit ago. We were going to do it episodically, but Holmesy blew his load.
I've finished the game. I'm already I think over halfway through my 100% run on Proud mode. So we're platinum in the game already. We're on our way.
I still haven't finished my first run yet.
Oh boy,
because I've been I'm stacked. Look,
it's spread thin. What is that? Jump Force 2. Yeah, look, true.
I got to get through this one again as well. And no,
wait, Detroit Become Human again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to. Well, I'm trying to platinum it. So, oh boy. So I've got a few things. Plus, I've got a couple other games on its way and all this other stuff. And I'm playing through some of the demos with Nintendo and Steins Gate. I've got to still play. There's so many things I've got right now, but Kingdom Hearts is going to be my main focus for the next week because, guys, next week, Holmesy and I will be sitting down and doing our Open Your Hearts special. Yeah. I know Holmesy's he's keen. He is keen as fuck.
There is a lot to say.
Yes. And so he's got some notes and everything. We're not going to talk about it. We haven't talked about it yet. I'm very excited to actually talk about it with Holmesy because there has been a couple moments in this game I'm already like, give me some tissues, please. So, no, I'm really, really, really excited to sit down with Holmesy and talk about that. That'll be next week, guys. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that one. Dash and Holmesy, Open Your Hearts will be next week. And guys, we are proud to also announce Dash and Holmesy. Now, at first it was going to be called Dash and Holmesy Go Full Body, but the fans have spoken. In September, Dash and Holmesy will break your hearts. From Take Your Hearts to Open Your Hearts to Break Your Hearts. So Dash and Holmesy Break Your Hearts will be our Catherine special. We'll be sitting down and talking about Catherine Full Body. Holmesy did not play the original Catherine. So
I've never played. I've seen the cover of one of these games and I was like, this doesn't look like a kid, like any kind of kids game whatsoever. And I think it was just the first Catherine game and I was like, okay, I don't really know if I'm going to play this. And I think I saw it I thought the first time I saw the cover, I was living with my parents and I was like, I'm not going to play that because I don't want them to see me playing a game like this. So we might just steer clear of that entirely.
Well, Holmesy, get ready because I tell you what, I only played it for the first time sometime this year.
That cover looks different to the one that I saw.
Well, this is the Xbox 360 version. This is the original Catherine. So yeah, get ready because you're in for a ride. If you I know you're not the biggest weeb. You do like weeb stuff, even though you're a weeb and you deny it. You're a closet weeb.
Dash is the true weeb. He's the hardcore weeb.
Closet weeb over here is Sword Art Online. Anyway, so get ready because you're in for a ride on this one. I honestly thought the same thing as you. I didn't really touch it because I didn't find it to be anything special, but I picked it up earlier in the year and I was like, I should give it a go. And holy shit, it is really fucking funny, really good. And the thing that you probably were concerned about, the length of the game, it's short, so you don't really have to worry about that. I completed this one in 8 hours, so...
After Persona 5's game length, when we're clocking in 74 hours now, it's just we need a shorter game to pod. We need a shorter game.
Yeah, well, we're definitely doing that. And some other games, we're going to have in between Take Your Hearts to a few of our other projects, there will be other games that we will be covering, probably one-off specials more than anything, and a couple episodic ones as well as we go. Who knows, Destiny 3 might drop, and Holmesy will definitely want to do something on that, so...
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Holmesy, let's jump into the main show. I want to tell you something now. You have been playing this game at your own pace for 355 days now.
I feel so close to the end of this too. So if I was to wrap the game up in a full year, like I'd be pretty happy with that. That'd feel complete.
I am so proud right now of this project. Like, it was honestly one, and I think it was like almost this week, a year ago, that I came to your house. I was sitting there just eating Macca's, and I pulled the Persona 5 cover out of the bag and I said, "You're playing this."
I didn't know what I was in for. I had no idea what I was in for, and I didn't expect this. This is like, I mean, I don't think there's many other games out there that I've sank this many hours into. Sitting down and playing this for a pod for 70 plus hours is huge. Yeah. Not something that I would do with anyone and everyone. I'm glad that we're doing the pod together, but it's I've spent far longer on this game than I originally expected, especially in Kamashida's Palace, but I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about that already, but we feel so close to the end. Seriously.
Oh man, it's great.
After the events that have happened, I feel so close to the end.
It's great because I remember, like, I pulled it up and I retweeted it. I said, when you find out that Persona 5 is 120 hours long, and I pulled up that tweet, that screen cap I took of you of the first stream you did of it a year ago, and your face is just like, oh my god.
Yep. I'm really glad I didn't choose to stream this though. Like, I feel like it wouldn't have taken as much in if I had sat down, streamed it, and played it with my own viewers as well. It would be great for them to enjoy it and sit down and watch it, but I don't think I would take in as much as I have already, and I think I bring more to the podcast having played it in my own time and paying attention to the story and not another Twitch chat.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm also glad that you didn't. It's I mean, there were a few jokes during the year like, hey, stream Persona 5. It's like, no, honestly, it's a case of, I honestly, as a viewer of yours who does come to your streams regularly, Persona 5 for you is more of this is a me time kind of game, and it very much is. Like, you have to take in everything that happens, or else you're not really fully appreciating what's going on screen. No. And that's one thing I'm glad you didn't do, was stream the game, because it's such a story intense game that if you had missed something, you wouldn't have made it this far.
Nah.
And I'm glad you kind of sat back and said, I'm going to do this at my own pace. This is actually going to be a project that I think will do well. And honestly, I'm so happy that you've made it this far into it. And so my question is, from me, I'm pretty sure I probably asked you this in the first episode, but it was so long ago now. How are you feeling now from the initial point that I actually handed you that game to now?
Much better about playing it. Yeah. You know, I saw two of my friends, Paul Houlihan from Double Jump, and Mr. Matty Mouse, who's one of my good friends from a long time ago now. Matt was asking about games to play, and Paul Houlihan had reached out to Matt and said, "Oh, you know, here's a few good, like, long story games. Persona 5 came up in there, and if I'd seen that tweet a year ago, I would have been like, mate, don't bother with Persona 5. It's so long. It takes long to get into. Don't do it. It's not worth it." But like now, obviously, because like at the time you gave it to me, I'd only experienced Kamashida's Palace. Yeah. Now that I looked at that tweet, I didn't chime in because it was already a few tweets deep. The thread was quite long. But if I had my input and given Matt a recommendation, I would tell him Persona 5 is worth playing. You know, my mentality and my thoughts on the game and my approach to the whole thing has changed so much in a year. As does everything, but just like as the game's gone along more and more, I've started to like it more and more, and it's been a journey. No, that's good, man. And I'm glad you're really enjoying it. So let's get into the usual rigmarole. What date are you up to, sir? Yes, so we're up to the 27th of the 10th. We've just passed our exams very recently. Yep. Where we're up to feels like a huge culmination of events that have just kind of transpired. There's so much more that's coming along in terms of like the Phantom Thieves figuring out that they're being played, or like people are steering them into like, you know, making them do what they want them to do. Yes. We've cleared Okumura's Palace.
It's starting.
People are dying. Things are. It's like, stuff's getting intense. Like this isn't just like a couple of high school kids messing around. Like this is government. This is country level shenanigans going on right now. It's getting very, very serious.
Yeah. It was one thing that I told you, like, before we started the podcast today, I said this might be a shorter episode than usual because it's now about to get so story intense that, like, prior events in what we've covered beforehand, and every time I've said, I can't really talk to you about that right now. I can't really talk to you. And it's one of those things where I still can't really cover it, but there are so many things that are about to happen from the end of Okumura's palace, like what you saw there. So do you want to explain, like, we talked about the start of Okumura's palace. What are your thoughts now on, actually, now that you've completed it, what are your thoughts now on Okumura's palace? What do you think of the boss battle and also the events that have transpired?
The boss battle I thought was kind of cool because there was a bit of a, I guess like a little bit of a moral of the story sort of thing. Like, you should, obviously, like, using people to your own means overall is wrong. Like, the whole story or the whole meaning behind that palace was laid out in front of you the entire time. Like, you shouldn't exploit people for, like, slave labor and working them to the bone for your own benefit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then even when when you're fighting him, like, he doesn't even transform. Like, he just summons more and more workers and you defeat wave after wave of workers and workers. And eventually you get, like, the big director guy who's, like, the final fight, who was very tough, had no weaknesses, and you had to guard and make sure you didn't get romped by his Big Bang Burger Blast or whatever it was. The Big Bang Order. That was the first time I didn't know what was happening. I got romped by that and I had to start the fight over. It took me 2 tries, which is, I'm quite proud of that. But, yeah, that palace was very, I don't know, I feel like it was different in the way that the boss fight, you didn't really actually fight him. It was just him putting people in his way. And then when you actually got to hit him, he just died. Like, he took like 2 hits and he was done. Yeah.
So I think what the story was trying to tell you was that there's like a moral weakness to people who actually try to put people in front of them to defend them, Yeah. What did you think of the structure of the palace? Because you must have, like, you had obviously got up to the part where it kind of got a little distorted and you were in basically outer space.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it didn't have much of a distorted vibe per se. Obviously, like, compared to Madarame's palace, for example, like, like the upside down stairs and like the warped paintings and just like the whole, like, dark kind of cognitive like aura around you and stuff. Like, it was so, that one was like really distorted. Whereas this one is just like, you just got space portals and you're outside and you pretty much are just floating through space, jumping through these windows or these little like portals. It didn't feel as warped as some of the other ones, but it was still, I still liked that. I still liked the idea of like the way that they implemented the puzzles and jumping through the different rings to kind of like get your way through there in a certain order.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part of that whole palace was still the music.
Yeah.
After a little while, it just kind of, every time you came back from a fight, especially when they got quick and easy, like you jump into a fight, you hear the and then it just immediately
just
chops
back
music
in
again.
Yeah.
It's like, please no.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I wish you could go to the system settings and mute the music sometimes.
Or even change the music. Like, do you want to, I mean, like, I would understand as well them not wanting you to ruin the atmosphere of a palace by saying, would you like to play music from Madarame's, Kanashiro's palace? Do you want to mix up the palace music with the one that you're currently in? Like, I feel like that would be
custom
wrong.
Soundtrack,
but something to just like stop the music or turn it down.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a first world problem. I'm just being over dramatic right now. Sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. I agree with you. It was this palace's music. Like I said we discussed last episode. This palace's music it gets to a point where it's just like, yeah, it's all right, and then it's like, oh my god, stop. But it got to that point where you did hit the puzzle basically, where you're out of space and you had to kind of switch switches and go through the right path and everything. That the bass of the music, the beat of the music actually kind of changed, and you were just getting the bass of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of was a bit of an ear relief, basically, like an earworm relief.
It was nice to hear a change in music. I did find at one point, like the last area of the puzzles for the rings you had to jump through, I got a little stuck because I didn't quite understand how the puzzle worked.
All right.
And then I had to kind of go through this one bit 2 or 3 times before I realized, like, oh, you have to have this switch on and jump through this color in that order in that place. And eventually I got it, but I spent about 20 minutes on one set of gates.
Yeah.
And then I finally got there. The one thing about the boss fight that I hated, and I hate it with anything that's like a big boss fight, like something, especially given the time you get, is a time-sensitive boss fight. Do not do time-sensitive boss fights. It is the most stressful scenario when you get put into a half hour time limit for a boss fight, and you don't know whether it's like, okay, do I have to rush this? Like, is this actually going to take me 30 minutes? Like, am I going to get down to the last minute if I pour my heart and soul into doing this fight? Or am I going to finish it with 15 minutes left and it's just giving you way too much?
Yeah.
And in the end, I did it with 10 minutes left. But, like, I liked it when they had the whole escape the exploding palace, because he did the self-destruct thing to take his spaceship away. Like, that was cool because you had to sprint. And I thought, exploration mechanic, knowing where you had to go. You get to a certain point and the time's over. But time-sensitive boss fights just make it unenjoyable in a way. Like, I kept looking at that clock and just like, the second time I played through it, I was like, if I lose to the timer, I am going to turn the PS4 off and come back to this later, because I'm not losing to a clock as well as the boss in 2 playthroughs. It's going to do my head in.
So you actually lost this boss battle.
The first time I did, because I wasn't ready for, I didn't realize after, because you know how he does the Big Bang Order?
Yeah.
He does Big Bang Order, and then the actual Big Bang Burger comes in.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
But I didn't realize that it came after, like, one set of your team's turn. So, like, it was a Big Bang Order, then, like, my 4 team, and then the order comes in and you cop it to the face. But, like, I had full health, and I still died. So, the next time it came through, I guarded every single time. I think it might have also been that I hadn't upgraded my character's accessories, like your defense armor or anything like that. So, after the fight, I went back and upgraded my stuff, but I got knocked out by the Big Bang Order the first time. Then every time it came through after that, I just made every single player guard. So we got there, but the second time was just, I was just worried about the clock.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've never actually lost to Okumura.
Really?
Yeah, no, I've copped it a few times from him. Actually, you know what? The first time going through, now that I recall, I got lucky. Like, I got really lucky because I would have lost.
It might have been because he lowered my defense or something. I think he might have lowered my defense as a debuff behind me, which is why I died in one hit. I just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, no, I get you. No, luckily I've never gotten that. So there you go. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Tell me a little bit about what you've gotten from the story arc of Okumura's Palace as well.
Yeah, so seeing, I guess Haru's resolve at the end of it was pretty nice. She's obviously turning on her own father and trying to change.
Kind of, yeah.
Changing a family member's heart is pretty full on. Obviously, we've seen like sort of something similar changing Futaba's heart, but she asked for that, and we're doing that as a favor for her. Like, that's an entirely different scenario. But every single other one has either been like, a teacher, and again, or I guess like a teacher, almost like a foster parent with Madarame, someone blackmailing you as well. Like, there's lots of different scenarios we've been in, but someone going against their family member again another first. It was nice to see her resolve at the end, the way that she felt happy about, I guess, doing it all at the end, and knowing that, like, especially one of the biggest parts in this palace that got me like so much more fired up to finish it was seeing like I think it was the fuel room. I can't remember the exact name, but there's a room where you see like this, like the robots being poured into like this, it's like almost
the
like
incinerator
a lava vat, the incinerator room. Yeah. And it's like that, what they take away from that is like people's lives or what's running this factory. And it's like, that's like people are literally pouring their heart and soul into making this place run and being worked to the bone. No one should be able to get away with something like that. And to
heavy metaphor,
yeah, it was really, really well done, and I was happy to see this palace end. Yeah, but on the same note, it was kind of crazy to see. I still don't know who it is. I feel like it's a girl because of the way that they look. The mysterious figure that comes in and shoots Okumura while we've walked away. I don't know who that is, but like I wasn't expecting that either. It's just like the silenced like pistol out of nowhere from behind him, and he just dies. I didn't know who that was going to be. I don't know who it is. I feel like it's a girl because they walk in and they're wearing heels. Yeah. That's all I can take away. And they keep saying he in the dialogue when they're talking about it later. They keep saying like, oh, he, don't know who he is. We have to find out who he is. We have to find and catch him. But they walk down to Okumura and shoot him again in the head once to kill his shadow. But they're wearing high heels. So it's got to be a girl. It's got to be a female of some sort. At first, I thought it might have been Sae's shadow or something, and she's somehow able to go to different palaces, but that doesn't make any sense, so it's not that. But we'll see. Also blew my mind that... Am I able to talk about the next palace?
Yes.
Also blew my mind that Sae is the next target. What the fuck? Oh
Yes!
my god. Yeah.
Yes. So
Did not see that coming.
So you've seen the next palace?
I haven't gotten into it. No, I've just I was into the I'm not up to it. I'm up to the bit where, because you know how you have little cutscenes where it's like the slides and you're in the interrogation room again. When Sae's like, let's talk about your next target, and she throws down like the calling card, which is like addressed as Sae Niijima, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? I've like typed it on my phone and be like, Sae's the next target. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I was very surprised to see that. I didn't see her being a target, but I'm curious then if that's the case, because we get caught inside a palace. Does that mean that we are inside at the start of the game? Does that mean we're inside her palace when we get caught? I don't know. I'm waiting to see what happens when we go in there, because if that is the one, I'm going to be so happy to see that. It's going to be really cool, because it's also really pretty and very colorful. But
so wait. Yeah, have you seen the palace one now?
I haven't. No. But
so how do you know it's pretty and colorful?
If it's the one from the start of the game, if that's the one, because you get caught in the start of the game, and presumably if the next target is Sae, I feel like her palace is the last one before everything kind of happens. It'd make sense because it's her palace.
Is this why you've got your PS4 on sleep, because you want to go back and check it out?
Yes. So yeah, I said to Dash before the start of the pod today, guys, that as soon as this is done and we're done recording, I'm going to go back and sit down and play more, because I want to see where we go next. I'm really curious.
Yes, I love it. So good. Sugoi.
Sugoi.
So shit. Great. I love it.
A lot has happened, man.
Oh man. I'm so excited. So now that you've actually seen, now that you know who your next target is, like you've just mentioned that the person dressed in black. Do you remember back at Madarame's palace, ending Madarame's palace? It's been a while. Do you remember what he said to you?
I don't, but okay. I do recall him mentioning something about like. They said it. I'm pretty sure Madarame said something about a he as well.
Do you remember Kanashiro's palace?
Not the mysterious figure there. No, I keep saying mysterious figure because we don't know who it is. But like,
do you remember them mentioning a mysterious figure?
I remember him mentioning someone briefly, but I can't remember specifics. It's been a little while since I've done those ones.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, do you remember what they said, or?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of a refresher because you have passed that part. So back at Madarame's palace. Once you had defeated Madarame, and he was basically sobbing on the floor.
Yeah.
And he says, what about the other one? And he was sobbing on the floor saying, what about the one dressed in black? Or the black mask or whatever, you know?
Yeah, okay, I do remember the black mask, yeah.
Right. Kanashiro turned around and said, there's another person going through palaces, gaining wealth and everything, doing this kind of thing, right? And they were like, oh shit, so this person has gone through this palace as well. So this gives you a little bit of a refresher course now. So, now do you know where you are?
I understand what's going on. I understand, like, obviously other people know who it is. I don't know, well, not who it is. They know that someone's doing this. I don't know who it is.
Do you have any assumptions?
Potentially, I guess, like, because we keep seeing the SIU director, like, more frequently now. We keep seeing the SIU director on the phone talking to someone who we still don't know. And we saw that bald man come up again, whose name escapes me right now.
That's okay. I'm not going to remind you yet.
The politician guy that we saw at the restaurant when Ryuji bumped into him. We saw the flashback for that. That's the only person I could think that it'd be. We don't know who it is. We haven't seen them so far, to my knowledge. If we have, then that's going to be a big story twist at the end. If it's a character that we've seen, but you're meant to forget about or whatever. But I can only assume it's the person that the SIU director is talking about. Somebody amongst like the government or whatever. If it's, I really don't know who it could be, though. I have no assumptions at the moment. At first, like I said, I thought it might have been like Sae's shadow or something like that, but that doesn't make sense because the shadows are limited to their palaces, to my knowledge. So
where are you up to exactly right now? Like, what did you just switch off your PlayStation from?
Futaba and Senpai talking to Sujiro because he found her calling card. So I saw that, and now he knows about who we are as well, which is amazing. I really like the fact that he's just like you. I just like the last bit just before I jumped on was him saying like, don't get into any trouble, but as long as you're here, you're safe. And it's like, Daddy Sujiro just taking care of us. It's good. I'm really, really happy. He's like, I wrote down like in these words, I'm really happy he's so accepting about it all.
Yeah. That's
it's
good.
pretty crazy though.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what was going to happen when
he found out. Yeah. Did you know he was going to find out?
I figured it was going to happen eventually. Like, all these little times where he's seen, like, you know, Futaba and Senpai talking on, like, or texting on the phone, but not, like, they're texting but not talking to each other. And then, like, you know, they have these piked interest periods about, like, stuff to do with the Phantom Thieves. And he's like, but doesn't really say much or think much of it. But he's, especially when he goes through and talks about, like, he names all these different points in your like, lives and, like, things that he's noticed about, like, oh, you know, you turn up in this school and then the teacher has this thing, and then, like, the student of Madarame happens to be one of your friends, and, like, he links all these things together, and it's like, this guy used to work for the government. Of course he's going to be clued into all this shit. So he's had his own suspicions, and then to see it all kind of, like, his little mind has just been blown.
It's great.
So it's great. I'm happy to see it. I'm really stoked that he's
accepting
of it all.
So good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you're up to this part, man, because as I said, this is where the story really fucking like, it took off, but now this is really, 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 because I will tell you that from where you are, Sae Niijima onwards, this is the final arc. Like, you are up to now the final leg of the story.
Yeah.
It just takes off tenfold from here. You're gonna find out shit that you thought no, but it is. Yeah, so it's going to be really fun to see some of this, as well as, like, now you're going back to go and play and see the palace and everything. I just want to, oh man, so good. Haru's True Awakening, though. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that as well, and the resolve, because the resolve is kind of confronting. So tell me a little bit about your feelings on the resolvement, on what the events that actually transpired right at the end of that palace with the father and everything, and what exactly happened there.
Yeah, so seeing, obviously, because we know, like, the mental shutdown doesn't happen immediately after you, like, their shadow dies. Like, it takes some time for it to affect that person. Obviously, we see Okumura doing his press conference, and then he has a cardiac arrest. Like, that's full on, obviously.
Yeah.
My only question that I had, like, seeing it happen was, like, Haru has never seen one of these things go down. Like, she doesn't know about, like, what the actual process involves and, like, you know, what the right or wrong thing is to do. Even we don't have full confidence in telling her, like, you know, he shouldn't have died. Yeah. People are like, that he shouldn't have died. He should have stayed alive. Like, no one's saying, like, he will definitely live. Like, when it happened, everyone's second guessing what the consequences were of their actions.
Yeah.
They've gone through and done, obviously, Kaneshiro, Kamoshida, Madarame, like, done all these different palaces, and Futaba's, obviously, and they're still alive. I was expecting Haru to turn against us, or at least, like, push us away from her for, like, you know, basically saying, you know, you guys have helped me, you guys have assisted me in killing my dad, kind of thing. But I mean, there's enough evidence eventually to show that, like, it wasn't them. The fact that they turn around and seem to, like, show such a lack of confidence in their understandings of, like, the metaverse, though, it just makes me question, like, how Haru just suddenly seemed to think, like, you know, they didn't kill my dad, someone else killed my dad, because we didn't even know that someone had set us up until very recently.
Right.
That bit didn't really make too much sense to me, but obviously she's also got a very level head around her, and she's pretty understanding and placid, so I don't know, maybe that's part of her character. It was, yeah. I liked the fact that we got to, I didn't expect we weren't going to finish this palace, but it was good that we got to complete and actually see the side effects of it all as well.
Yeah. It was something that, did you ever expect to see a mental shutdown gone, like, not a mental shutdown, a change of heart gone wrong into a mental shutdown?
I hadn't, I mean, we saw it obviously with Wakaba. We didn't actually see it, but we knew that had been a thing. I wasn't too sure if it was going to happen. Like, I know obviously the same thing happened with the principal. There's two of those there. I just didn't expect it to be, because there wasn't really too many bits of evidence leading up to OKUMURA'S palace that showed that he was linked to the SIU director.
Yeah.
Only until very late in the palace did you see kind of like conversations going on, be like, yeah, we need to dispose of him. He's useless now. He's going to cause us more trouble than he's worth. So they dispose of him and shoot him in his palace.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't really too sure what else to expect though. I didn't really think there was going to be a mental shutdown unless we did it by accident.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Actually, seeing it actually happen now, and how the process is basically. What do you suspect of the Black Mask, basically? Do you suspect that they're actually working with whoever they're working with, or do you think they're working on their own?
I don't know, because like there's, I mean, I almost wonder whether the the mysterious figure is, I still think it's someone to do with the SIU.
Right.
We recently learned Akechi obviously has a persona now, and he's found the area because we've just gone through the bit at the school where he's about to reveal who the Phantom Thieves are, and then he stages a phone call to step off and say like, "Hey, I know it's you. Do this for me, or I'll expose you guys." And then obviously like now we're working with him. So we already had him as a confidant. He's leveled up quite a bit. I think he's level 4 now, which is good. I don't know who it is. I have no suspicions. Unless it was somehow somebody in our team. But that can't be possible because the team is always
all
with
around,
us.
yeah.
They're all around. Like, there's no way there could be someone here double-crossing us or whatever. So I really don't know. I haven't got anybody to go off of. It couldn't be Wakaba because she clearly has passed away. Like, she's gone. My head thought, like, maybe it's her because she was the only other female character in the game that knew about the cognitive world and, like, what it could mean and what it could be and what it could do.
Right. But you bring up a good point there. They don't have to be alive to actually have a persona or actually be existent in that cognitive world. They can be a figure themselves that could be gone from cognitive world to cognitive world in existence to some of these people.
Well, then it could be Wakaba, I guess. But the thing is, she died in the real world because of a mental shutdown, which caused her to fall in front of a car. So she should be dead.
Right.
In theory, if the same thing has happened to the principal and the same thing that happened to Okumura has happened to her, which is that literally the same thing happened to the principal. He walked into the middle of the road having a cardiac arrest and got hit by a car. Same thing happened to Wakaba's physical body. Yeah. And then Okumura, the same thing happened in the middle of a conference. He had a cardiac arrest and dropped dead. Yeah. So I don't expect it to be Wakaba's shadow or something like that. But I mean, like, she obviously did a lot of research too. So she somehow kept herself alive in the metaverse and died in real life. Like, I don't know whether that's a possibility. That being said, if it is something like that, there's nothing in the game that's indicated that was possible previously. So I'd be intrigued to see if that is the case.
Cool. So today I saw on your Instagram story feed that you were grinding mementos. Let's talk a little bit about that too.
Oh yeah. I just have one to clear. I didn't realize how far down that place actually goes. The only thing I was sad about is that when you get to a certain point, I cleared out the guy that I had to defeat, and then I had to like travel back up like 3 or 4 levels to get to a save point, and then quick travel out of it. Right. And at one point I was like, is it seriously going to make me travel all the way back through 4 levels of metaverse just to like get out? And then I realized you get to the save point, you can teleport out.
Just skip back, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been in there too often.
But, okay.
Yeah, no change this time. Still haven't fought the Reaper, but I want to get to a level where I can do it. We're level 44 now, I think. Yeah. I still don't think I'm ready, but I would like to get to a level where I can at least see it and fight it and defeat it.
Well, it'd be a nice rare trophy for you to add to your list.
Yeah, I saw there's a trophy, so I'm like, well, I know it's possible, but I just don't know how hard it's going to be because clearly it's a strong fight. So
it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. I don't think I've got the trophy yet. I don't know yet. I haven't even checked. I should check. But
I want to see what it looks like though. That's the only thing I haven't. Maybe I'll just Google it. I know I want to see like what the Reaper actually looks like.
Then, yeah.
You can do that if you Obviously, want. I have an idea.
I'll send you a clip if you really, really want to. I don't want you fucking like oops and then like shit.
Well, I'll have a peruse on the internet.
I'll send you a nice clip. So in saying that, have you gotten to the part that you should be at in Mementos, or have you kind of said no? I'll get back to that in a second.
I don't think I'm quite far through enough as I should be because when I did the last one, like the fight was very easy. Yeah. It was a shadow that I had fought like a weaker version of, like it looked physically the same. Most of the enemies I'm fighting in the mementos now are level 30, 29, something like that. And most of the ones we fought in Okumura's Palace are up around about like, 35s, 44s at the max. Yeah. So I'm clearly fighting ones that I'm much stronger than. On the flip side of that, though, it means it's very, very easy for me to gather masks and infuse them into my current persona. Because I have 5 now that are all around about level 39, 40, 44, like somewhere in like that area. Yeah. So they're all pretty strong. I've picked ones with good resistances and defense and like strength and all that kind of stuff. So for our personas, we're in a great spot. I've got a lot of good ones there. I've also managed to freaking raise all my stats to level 4 now.
Oh, cool.
Seriously.
You're almost there.
Everything's happened today. Like I went through and I leveled up. All the ones that were level 3 have just like skipped up to level 4 now. So I can finally grow a bond with Futaba.
Yeah. Oh god.
Which is great. That took me forever until I could actually do that. So I've created that.
Yeah.
There's also I now have a new confidant with Hawaii.
Okay, you're cool. Yeah.
I got to see the gun in there because I raised my guts.
Yeah.
In the bag. So now we're doing like odd jobs for him. But
for a punk like you.
For a punk like you, yeah. The memento stuff has been good though. It's been like doing that and grinding mementos and grinding stats has been satisfying because now a lot of the grinding I've been doing in my last playthroughs have all kind of come into effect now. It's good. I'm very, very happy.
The public's perception of the Phantom Thieves right now.
We're on like 20% right now.
Yeah, what the fuck happened?
Because everyone thinks we killed Okumura. Yeah, which sucks because obviously that's what these people wanted us to do. We found
knowing you, what was your reaction to seeing your meter go boom?
Well, I had more of a reaction when it went up so quickly because I saw it. Like I'm thinking like to myself, you know, I feel like we're still pretty early game, or like you know we're at least halfway through, and then I look at this bar sitting at like 90%. I'm like, that shouldn't be there, and if it is there now, it's not going to be there for long. And sure enough, here we are. Story twist is 20%. It's dropped all the way down, and people are like posting comments like, just end the world already, or like, oh, you know, people like murderers deserve to die and all this stuff. It's like, well, you know, the SIU is the one that's done this because obviously they've hacked our website. Yeah, they've influenced the Okumura voting. They've influenced so much to make things go the way they want it to, and it's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of the confidant thing that we brought up just then, so you have got a new confidant in a way. Anybody else, or is it just that?
No new ones since the last app we recorded. I know Igor's gone up to level 9 now, so Igor keeps giving us new stuff. Sae has gone to level 5 with like the interactions we have. We had another DNM with Morgana on the bed like before we went to sleep, so he's on level 6 now. They're all the ones I've really leveled up since. I haven't had anything else kind of.
No new confidants at all.
I don't think so. No, unless there's any that I should have that I'm missing. I don't think so.
Oh, I'll give you a tip. Check your map. So when you're in, press the R1 button. Check your map. Kanda is a church or a city where there's a church. Make sure you go there. There'll be a girl playing shogi in the front row on the right hand side. Go speak to her. That's a new confidant for you, just in case that like it'll give you more powers, more abilities. If you level up with her, it will give you more abilities when you're in some battles as well. So that's definitely useful. So definitely speak with her.
Okay.
That'll help you out.
Cool. Yeah.
Especially in the next palace that's coming up, you're going to need some help.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. The new I won't spoil too much of it. The new palace as well. It's not structured the same. In terms of the way you can just go in and go out willy nilly. So I'm just forewarning you there because I know how you are about having free reign on a video game.
I like open world games, all right? It's just
I know you do.
They've warmed us up to it so much already, being able to like go in and out of a palace all the time.
But you got to appreciate the fact that also shit changes too. It's not going to be the same shit every fucking time.
Nah, it's true.
So this is something that you're going to expect, but it's something you're also going to appreciate too. As I said, with this story now, it's just shit's happening. There's a reason it's structured like that. So I think it's definitely something you're going to be. Well, I think this palace. As soon as you jump in, you're going to be like, love it, because it's definitely a part of the story that you're going to appreciate.
Okay.
Now, I've already asked her how much romances have you grown. So, talk to me about your romances. Have you been working on that?
No, well, none of them. I've been looking every time I have a free day, and there's stuff like we had time between obviously finishing OKUMURA'S palace and the actual change of heart. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna yawn.
That's right, me too.
Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to romance anybody else. Obviously, like when I saw that we could talk to Futaba, like I'm not planning on, like I said, I want to romance every character, but like I saw we could talk to Futaba anyway, and she was one of the only characters that actually, you know, when you go to the map, you press R1 and R1 again, and you can check on its square or whatever. You can see your confidants, and if you hover over the different cities, it says like up, like you're actually gonna grow.
Yeah.
All the other ones have just had like a blue tag on them and no up, or like no rank up kind of thing, so I've just not bothered. Futaba's one had, you know, up, so I was like, okay, this is the first time I can interact with you, I'll talk to you. And same with Hawaii. They're the only two that I've been really increasing. Nothing else has really kind of changed there.
Fair enough.
Bit more of the same. Arn is still our obviously our first romance. I noticed though that nothing really kind of changes. Like I was wondering whether having a romance in the game would change some of the dialogue and behaviors of the characters.
Yeah.
I don't know how hard that would be to develop in a game though, but her behavior around the team and like placement, like they're not really like romantic in the team. They're very much like, this is what we're doing as a team.
Yeah.
So at the moment, just Arn though.
Fusions. Powers, gaining new masks. Talk to me. Anything new?
We had a pretty bad network fusion. Like I put through I just put one in just to see what I got, and it went to I put in like a level 30. I can't remember what the one was now. I put in like a level 30 something, and it came back as like a level 31, like some stupid like weird little slug
crap.
thing. So that one, all the other ones have been amazing so far. So some of my best Persona have come from network fusions with other people playing the game and just being like, take that one, do it.
Interesting.
So that's been good. But yeah, I've really just been planning. My strategy at the moment with my Persona has been keeping my 5 favorites that have got like a whole collection of really powerful and useful abilities. Like, I don't know the names of the spells right now, but one's to raise defense for an ally for 3 turns. One's to raise attack for your team for 3 turns, like everyone. Moderate recovery for all allies. Like I've got a lot of different support spells that I've made sure that my Persona have across all characters when I go into a fight. So, as I'm noticing now, you need more buffs. You need to be smarter with how you play. Particularly with Okumura's fight, like I found that I needed to be ready for some of the buffs and debuffs that were coming. So, I've been playing a lot smarter, more so in this recent palace as well. Just trying to make sure I guess I'm ready for the last one as well.
No, fair enough. Well, you mentioned that you've also grown your stats anyway to level 4 and everything, which is really good because once you reach that level 5, which you're definitely going to need to before you get to the end game at least. It's definitely going to help you with everything else in terms of also getting into battle and all that stuff. So I'm glad that you're actually grinding that much because you're definitely going to need it. Everything.
I got a question out of curiosity. When you finish the game, is it like, does the game just stop? Or is it like, congratulations, you finished the game. Now here is the world of Japan. Explore at your will. Here's mementos. Grind your character up further. Or is it like once you finish the story, that's it, and it's either like new game plus or that's your file? Like, what do you have free reign of Japan to do what you want, or is it once you finish the game, you finish the game, and you can either new game plus or nothing?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. I just want to know because it'd be handy to know whether it's like, okay, I finished the game, I'm going to grind all my stats to level 5 and then do a new game plus. Or if it's worth going just new game plus straight away and that's all you can do. But we'll find out then. I'll find out over time.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
All right.
That's going to be interesting. Still your favorite character? Still Sojiro?
Still Sojiro. Yeah, still Sojiro. He's
Daddy Sojiro.
Daddy Soji. He's been really, really cool throughout the entire game so far, and he reminds me a bit of not quite in the same way, but he reminds me of like a friendly Professor Snape, where he's real rough and tough and disciplinary on the outside. Like obviously Snape instead in Harry Potter has this disdain for Harry because of James's influence in Snape's life. But in this game, like Sojiro is like work hard, do good in school, focus on your work, and you'll be a good member of society. But on the inside, he's really like, I really care for this kid, and I want to make sure that I do the best by him, and also with Futaba and all that too. So he's like a s'more. He's hard and crunchy on the outside, but sweet and soft on the inside.
Holmesy, before we began, I told you that this might be a shorter one, because of some of the story elements that I can't really cover with you. So I want you to ask me, like, do you have any questions for me?
No questions really that I can think of so far. Like I have questions, but there's none that you can answer because it'll spoil things for me. Like I don't know whether this last palace really is going to be the colorful one we saw at the start of the game or not.
Right.
But don't tell me because I want to find out when I play it.
Okay.
Actually, I got one.
Yep.
And I won't investigate, I promise. Have we seen the mysterious figures person in the game leading up to the events of now? Has she, still sticking with she, or say they for the sake of argument though, have they been in the game previously and have we seen them on screen before these moments, not in the mysterious figure outfit?
So you're asking, has she been in the game yet?
Have we seen her in the game outside of the metaverse in the game yet?
No.
Okay, cool. So there's...
Now I'm gonna throw it back to you and say it's because of your wording.
Well, I said, has she ever been on screen outside the metaverse?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see who that is. That's the only thing that I can really think of. There's nothing else that I don't have like a grasp on in the game so far. Like, the only other thing I can think of actually now that I look at this is, why does our character never tell our team about the Velvet Room? Nobody else in this entire duration of the story knows that we have a Velvet Room to go into and customize our different persona. Nobody else knows that we are speaking to Igor and his two assistants. Why do we never tell them about that? Like, ever. He clearly knows what's going on and he's preparing us for something. Why does he never come out of the Velvet Room one day and be like, yo, this fucking guy named Igor keeps telling us shit's gonna get serious. We should like pony up. Like, why does he never do that? Is there why? Or is there a reason we'll find out?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is good. I'm glad you're thinking of all this stuff, because these are questions that will probably end up eventuating. I'm not going to say what. Hey, Ryan from Pop Culturist, just stopping by to say happy birthday, Dash, and I love you all in the face. Thank you, brother. But yeah, look, I'm not going to answer it. You're going to have to find out for yourself. Okay. That's one that you're going to have to find out for yourself. Now, last episode, we played a quick rapid-fire game of one word. So I'm only going to give you one name this time. First thing that pops in your head. Okumura.
Dead.
Cool. Actually, I got one more for you. I didn't think I asked you last time. Igor.
Suspicious.
Why?
Well, I mean, we found him. I can't recall how we find him in the start of the game. No, he invades one of our... Or we were asleep, and he pops up in our dreams. I think it's like the first time we ever interact with him. We never talk to him. He's always talk... Oh, we should do talk to him. We very rarely talk to him. He's always telling us stuff. But he knows so much about what's going on, and he's rehabilitating us. Sorry, words. But we don't know why. There's literally nothing that he has told us about what his motives are. We don't know why he's trying to help us. But he's getting us ready for something, and I don't know what. Like, I still don't know who he is, why he is, whether he's the one that put the app on our phones, like all of our phones. The other thing, thinking about it, obviously we are able to control several personas, which makes us quite special. But does that mean that all of the other people that have personas also have a Velvet Room? I don't know. Like, do they get to speak to Igor in their own times? Like, I don't know. There's just so much going on. There's so many different things. There's literally like 10 different breadcrumb trails of story, of things going on that are supposed to be like back of your mind. And I'm sitting here because I'm doing a podcast for it, thinking like, why the fuck is this happening? And there's a lot going on, and I'm trying to be really mindful of all these different things, and just I'm waiting for shit to slap me in the face and be like, hey, remember this thing from like 30 hours ago? It's back again, and you should pay attention. So I'm excited.
Good. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I'm loving that you're thinking of all this stuff, because it's going to slap you in the face hard.
Yeah.
No, that's great. The final thing is the 7 Deadly Sins. So we've been talking about that across episodes. Do you know what this one is?
The last one, I know Okumura, like, I'm getting that Okumura was greed. Because that was, he's greedy, he wants money, doesn't want to be in debt and all that stuff, so I got that.
100%,
Don't know what the next one's going to be, of course, yet, because we're not in there, but...
Yeah, but you know who you're going for, so that's...
Sae,
that's going to be interesting for you to see how this all ends up.
I mean, I feel like we don't get there in the end anyway. I feel like this is the palace that we're going to go through, where we're literally going to play through this palace all the way up to a certain point, and then it's like, and now we're here, and we're going to finish the palace and get caught, and then we're going to come back to that interrogation room, because we've been through all the interrogation, and then it's going to be like, and now here we are. Well, let's go catch the people from the SIU. It's going to be Sae on our side, and I feel like she's going to have maybe a persona. I don't know. Something's going to happen.
Okay, so yeah, before we wrap up, tell me where you think this is going now. Like, in your head, where do you see this going?
Well, Akechi's clearly on our side.
Okay.
He's clearly someone that's going to be helpful. He has a persona. I feel like...
Do you think it's a Phantom Thief?
I think he will be eventually. Whether it's someone that he gets, whether he gets added to our party, or if he's someone that just happens to be in the metaverse, going about his own business in the meantime. I feel like he's going to be integral to the final part of the story, like whether it's during Sae's palace or slightly after. I feel like, though, we're going to play through Sae's palace. We're going to get to the end of it. It's going to be us getting caught by the police, jumping to present moment because we've already been through the entire recount of what's happened. That's what we've been playing. Yeah. And during the progress of her palace is when all this knowledge is going to come to light. And then Sae is going to be like, motherfucker, let's go. And then we're going to go off with Sae and Akechi and the Phantom Thieves. Maybe not Sejiro because he doesn't have a persona. But
I'm just here for the coffee.
I'm just here for the coffee and the curry, man. Fuck yeah. We're going to go off with Sae and Akechi and people that know what's up. And we're going to go and catch the people doing the wrong thing. And it's going to be someone else's palace. It's going to be someone higher up than us, whether it's like the SIU director or some shit. It's going to be some motherfucker that we're going to get. And we're going to storm off and like we're literally going to take their palace by storm. And that's going to be like the big fuck you at the end of the game to the people that have been puppeteering us this whole time.
Very cool.
That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'm leaving it quite broad though. There's so many ways what I've just said could be interpreted, but we'll see.
I love it.
Find out in the next episode of Dash and Holmesy.
That's it. I love it because I'm not going to tell you whether you're spot on or not, but your assumption is good. I like that. I like it.
Cool.
But guys, that's been it for this week. If you didn't know, Dash and Holmesy is our tri-weekly book club inspired gaming podcast where Holmesy and I sit back, relax, and talk about the hottest games out right now. You can follow Holmesy on Twitter at Holmesy5. You can follow me on Twitter at Dash Gamers. Be sure to follow Dash and Holmesy over at dashandholmesy.com, soundcloud.com/dashandholmesy, iTunes and Spotify. We can give us a cheeky 5-star rating. Be sure to catch Buddy Watson and I over on Dash Culture every 2 weeks. But make sure that you come back in 3 weeks for another enthralling episode of Dash and Holmesy Take Your Hearts. Guys, also that next week we're also going to be doing an Open Your Hearts episode, so make sure you keep your eyes out on dashandholmesy.com for that. But until then, Holmesy, this has been an awesome episode. I'll tell you something, like, honestly, I didn't expect us to cover this much.
Yeah.
It's been great.
I know we're thinking of having a shorter one, but it's still gone for about an hour, so.
We almost did, yeah. Fucking awesome. But guys, thank you so much for listening this week. Also, thank you so much to everybody who has been listening. Our last episode was our most listened episode since the Futaba episode. We got almost 500 listens on SoundCloud in the first 24 hours of it being live. Thank you so much. Really, really love you all. Thank you so much for listening and all the awesome feedback we're getting on iTunes and Spotify and all that. Thank you so much. But until 3 weeks, we'll see you guys then. Much love.
Happy birthday. Oh, sorry. Stay hungry.
dashgamer.com